Hello everyone, this is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I've got a lot of things that I want to talk with you guys about. I've got a few things, and I've got a few videos that I want to watch. Mainly, I'm talking about how strong can we become? How strong can MGTOW become? How strong can you become as an individual MGTOW? And what does that mean? Because there's a lot going on. There really is. And this is some incredibly important stuff, at least regarding the quality of your life, if you understand what I'm saying. So also, I'm going to watch some videos from some women here on YouTube that are responding to MGTOW. You know, they're talking about what they think about MGTOW. Now, some of you might be like, oh, Howard, why are you doing that? We don't care. But no, trust me, we're addressing these low-level basic concerns and low-level shaming tactics. You guys, especially the younger MGTOW, need to be familiar with this stuff, okay? This is the kind of stuff that can destroy a man's life. Now, I also want to talk about a recent trip I took to the mall. Very revealing, very enlightening today, okay? And I want to tell you what I saw and what I think it means, because it's very important. And I also, see, I told you I've got a lot to talk about. I also want to talk about what's going on here on YouTube with the MGTOW content creation and what I think it means about the future of MGTOW, because it affects, you know, how strong can we become? Can you guys hear me okay? Are my audio levels okay? Is the music and the voice, you know, at the right level? Give me a little feedback if you would, please. KBR is here. Thanks for stopping by, KBR. Israel Alpha is here. That's a real alpha there. K-Best MGTOW. I'm not sure. No, that's K. That's just K. And then his best MGTOW jobs are in trades. Yeah, and online, my friend, and online. I want most of you guys to be online here. Okay. We're all says perfect, and I'm loud and clear. Thank you for the feedback, guys. I appreciate it. So let me also, and I'm, you know, of course, I'm always going to be talking about just MGTOW in general. You know, like what's going on, who's here, what issues, you know, maybe interesting videos, topics, things like that coming out. I'll tell you, there's something challenging about being able to make, you know, MGTOW videos, well, just videos, that in some instances you have to know what you want to make before you make it. So the whole thing, in a way, has to almost be planned out. And that's a very daunting task, especially if you're going to try to tackle a multifaceted subject, right? Like if you're just coming in and saying, you know, let me tell you, I'm pissed, I didn't like the election, and let me tell you why, that's fine. But if you want to say, here's a critical analysis of what recently happened, and it's got phases, and it's multifaceted, and there's multiple variables, and we don't even fully understand and comprehend all the relationships, but I want to talk about it in the most organized, concise way that I can, you know, present it. Yeah, that means you're taking hours beforehand. That's like producing a news clip, you know, like a small news show or a segment. And I would guess that each one of those segments has its own producer, right? Like we're going to be talking about 6 stories today, and each one of them we've been planning for, you know, at least a few days, and each one of them has one person in charge and a staff and access to the graphics department, and yeah, I don't see how else you could work it. You know what I mean? You just couldn't wing it, right? Yeah, so I like Tucker Carlson. Christopher says, I like the music. Thank you, Christopher. Maybe 5% less on the background music. Okay, thanks for the feedback. And I'll cut the background music when we start watching videos and stuff. Just looking at the chat here. Frank Jetson is here. Tucker is a true patriot and hopefully full MGTOW. Well, he doesn't have to be full MGTOW. Very few men are going to, embrace the idea of MGTOW. But they're going to embrace many of the principles and ideas, and they're going to be sympathetic, and they're going to want to work with us. We're all says, feels good. Love these live streams. Thank you, feels good. We're all. Yeah, we're getting better. You know what I mean? I guess we're still part of the preseason of podcasts because, man, have I screwed up a few of them. Last time I went like 40 minutes without my microphone on, Democracy taken seriously says, sounds good. Felipe says, MGTOW is worldwide, Howard. We go our own way. Long live liberté. Exactly. Thank you, Felipe. Well said. That's exactly what I was thinking. But we're needed, Felipe. The situation is so bad in the Western countries, and we're going to talk about it, that we need MGTOW. And it is gynocentric conditioning. It is being part of a blue pill world, and it is destroying the men. I'm not kidding you. Okay? You're going to be lucky if you can maneuver your way through this minefield and come out as a healthy, sustainable man on the other end of it. I'll be honest with you, I don't think 80% are going to make it. I think they're going to be crippled. I think they're going to be broken. I think they're going to be lost. Because these are the men that I see today. All right, I'll tell you about it. So we need to stop fighting. We need to stop letting people use the cloak of MGTOW to then unleash all of their anger, frustration, and hatred. Hello, MGTOW, says Jeff Lang. It all makes sense now. Well, I don't know if that's true, Jeff. I don't know if it all makes sense, but it should make a little bit, more sense. James Andrew 62 says most men are recovering from breakups or experimenting with being signal. Best way to build up energy is not to argue and debate with feminist culture. I'm just thinking about what you said. You make a great point. Indeed, most men are recovering, but most men want to go back. You know what I mean? Let's say it like it's a drug addiction. That's really a very fair metaphor. They want to go back. You know what I mean? They don't want to quit. They want to go back. Some MGTOW have abused mothers as kids. I think most of us grew up with some, amount of female abuse. It's much more subtle and pervasive in the system. Like my mother was a total alcoholic for all the way up into my late teens. I've been assured that she wasn't drinking while she was pregnant, but come on. You know what I mean? Come on. We like to think that there's some sort of natural disgust from, the mother abusing her own body while pregnant, but that's not true. In any case, I physically I can't complain. And I'll tell you, as a young boy, I know I'm going off topic here. I'm not going into the structure of the podcast yet. Very early age, you know what I mean? Like 7 years old. I was like, oh yeah, my mom's a drunk. 3 days out of the week when I come home from school, she's just going to be wasted. And all I need, and I just have to avoid her. She's not going to make me food. She's not going to cook my clothes. She might make dinner, you know what I mean? Because she might sober up by the evening when my father gets home. And any interaction that I have with her is going to be, pretty hostile, right? Like if I say to her, can I get $1 to go to the liquor store, she's going to start cursing at me because she's drunk, right? So by, 7 years old, I'm making my own food. I'm washing my own clothes. I'm grabbing $1 from her purse occasionally. I wouldn't even call it stealing because had she been sober, she would have given it to me. And then the other 3 or 4 days out of the week, she was okay. She wasn't great, but she was okay. Sometimes she tried to make up for it with extra material and giving in, letting, and indulging my requests and things like, not going to school, stuff like that. She tried to make up for it a little bit. She felt a little guilty, no doubt. And I mentioned this before. One of the things that hurt me the most about that was that I could just never really bring home any friends. But I'll tell you, eventually I did. I mean, I adopted the same attitude towards that as I adopted towards everything else. It was just like, okay, I'll bring home a friend. It's like, oh, my she's drunk, she's wasted, don't, stay away from her. And she wasn't really going to come looking for me. And the other times, she was actually pretty cool because she was probably feeling pretty guilty. Cave Creature's here. Thanks for stopping by, Cave Creature. He says, women will often project their bad behaviors and habits onto the boys in the house. Oh, it's so much worse than that, Cave Creature. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. So how are we doing? How many people have showed up? And have you guys liked the video and shared the video? I have shared the video. I have liked the video. 48 watching now. You know what I like to check? Other MGTOW channels that might be going live. Not that we need to worry about that. Like, you just do what you've got to do. You got to go when you got to go. Right? It's like the scene in Jaws. Don't wait for me. So if you're doing a live podcast, go do your live podcast. Don't wait for me. Don't worry about other people's schedule. Tea time with Howard Dare. I should do that for like tea time, literally tea time in the UK. Sorry. All right. How long have we been going? 20 minutes, 47 people. Lawin Colt is here, made it. Thank you for stopping by, Lawin. Thank you for your comments too. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments here in the chats. Thank you for your comments on the videos, for watching the videos, for sharing the videos. Howard Dare channel, as I said, is in a very, very unique place, okay? I need to grow as a channel. I need your help. Without your support, I thought, and I did initially, piggyback on YouTube and AdSense. And I wanted to teach you guys how to do that too, but they have shut it down. They have shut down. They made it so difficult. They made it so... They're tipping the scales. This is not free speech. This is the free speech that YouTube, Google agrees with politically, is what they're going to let out. Anything else that's too, direct, they're going to shut it down. They're going to squelch it. They're going to put their fingers on the scale. It's horrible. If you only knew the power of the dark side, says Howard Dare, what is your number one tip to avoid a false accusation from a bitter female whose advances you turned down? Wow. Well, I wasn't able to do it, my friend. Hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned. And what whores they are. What reckless abandon they act with. What unrestrained female sexuality they unleash upon the males. And what power it confers upon them within society. And what character and integrity and honor they lack. So now we are all at the whim of a child, basically of a 13-year-old girl. Understand that. Your entire life now is at the whim of someone who has the mind of a 13-year-old girl. I hope you appreciate that. Electing Hillary Clinton, the people who are running this show, the people who say what videos I'm allowed to put out and what I'm not, have the mind of a 13-year-old girl. Not a man. Not even a 17-year-old man, not even a 20-year-old man who might have to go to war, but a 13-year-old girl. And that's not all of them, but that's 95% of them. So what advice do I have? Run for the hills. Run for it. Get yourself so far away from her. Go tell the other people, the other managers in the organization that you've had these problems with her, okay? And that you would not be surprised if something else was coming your way, and it probably will, and you're still not going to be able to avoid it because they're all going to go along with her. I know because it happened to me. Well, I don't know what's going to happen in your particular case, but it's a very desperate situation. Like if a young girl is flirting with you at the office and you just don't want anything to do with her, she's going to make an act. You're going to screw up. You're going to reject her and she's going to get her feelings hurt and then she's going to report you in some way to another guy. It's relational aggression. That's how it works. Yeah, you're very welcome if you only knew. And good luck with that. Like I said, tell some of the other people, isolate yourself. Don't overreact. Don't be a dick, but, don't be a nice guy either. And if she accuses you, it won't just be that you lose this one job. It'll be that your reputation is destroyed in this field, and you will almost have to go out and start your own business. That's what's happening to men, guys. That's what they do. None of you guys will hold on to your office jobs. That's why they said the trade war is a good idea, trades are, a good idea for MGTOW men. Yes, they are, because you're not going to be able to hold on to an office job. Super chat coming through, Jamie. I appreciate it, my friend. MGTOW power. That's what we're about. We're about making men strong, and we're in a system that's about making the man weak. That's what we're fighting against.